Hey guys, Dean here. From being labelled as a dunce to having your game save completely corrupted, these game developers went to the edges of the world to absolutely humiliate hackers for cheating in their games. These guys are not playing around. Number 17, GTA 5. GTA 5 is an absolutely nutty game, and it's safe to say it's absolutely filled with hackers. But Rockstar don't just punish them with bans, they actually just humiliate them. Along with being thrown into their own derelict servers to be pitted against other cheaters, the boys in blue at Rockstar don't only separate them from the innocent players, but they equip those hackers that get more minor penalizations by putting them with a dunce hat on them to mock them, just like naughty kids got for misbehaving back in school in the old days, and they can't take it off. Number 16, Pokemon Go. Everyone loves Pokemon, and it absolutely took over the world in 2016 with Pokemon Go, where people used their phone to find Pokemon in real life and catch them, which probably led to a lot of people falling off cliffs in the dark at night, but that's just speculation. Well, players went an extra mile to catch rarer Pokemon by spoofing their GPS location or using other third-party apps for a similar purpose to get better capture spots and Pokemon spawns. But the app would shadow ban these players, trolling them by letting them only catch the most common Pokemon in the game, Pidgey, Rattata, and Zubat. And you would face the developers' full wrath with the third and final penalty of their system being a ban. Number 15, The Witcher 3. One of the most beloved games of all time, The Witcher 3 has a more harrowing side to it. CD Projekt Red doesn't like cheaters, and that's clear in the sense they don't want you to have too much money. They don't want us winning. If you're in the we secure the bag kind of spirit, take a step back and think again, because if you're seen using any of the glitches in the base game or exploits to get easy money, like from selling infinite cowhides, then you may get a call from a taxman. And just like with the IRS, you're going to have to pay sooner or later. Hold more than 35,000 crowns and you'll get the taxman calling and quizzing you on where you got your ill-gotten gains, and if he susses you out, you're paying back every single penny of it.
Fine, I'll just pay it. Sheesh, thought portals were bad. I think I detest taxes even more.
Number 14, Dark Souls 3. Bandai Namco take hacking super serious in their game. Hackers spawning in items to make themselves ultra powerful is one story, but them dropping hacked items in the world to ban other innocent players is a completely new struggle. Bandai got sick of these trolling hackers, so not only did they ban their accounts for item dropping, they also completely stopped them from even being able to launch Dark Souls 3. Seriously, if you tried to play the game, it'd give them an error of invalid game data. Imagine spending your coin on a game that you can't even play. Lol. Number 13, H1Z1. One of my favorite games of all time, H1Z1 was a fast-paced battle royale game, popular for its super fast-paced arcade shooter mechanics and the fact that it didn't take itself too seriously. There'll never be another game like it, or probably one that deals with its cheaters in the same way. In fact, back in 2015, when the game was seeing huge success, it banned over 25,000 cheaters, which is a crazy figure. The Sony devs didn't take it lightly either. They decided to publicly humiliate and troll the cheaters by making them issue a public apology and upload it to YouTube with their face to be shamed, having to keep the video as public unless they want to have their ban stamped back down on them. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty cold way to go. Number 12, Undertale. Undertale is a cult classic at this point, and it has an absolutely class soundtrack to it. This game meddles with your emotions, and your choices have a huge impact on its story and how it ends. But if you decide to tamper with the game's files externally to gain an advantage, then the game will know, and it will be quiet about it up until the end. When the credits end seemingly normally, the game will initiate its secret alternate ending where one of the characters, usually Sans himself, calls you a dirty hacker and tells you you're just a hacker, aren't you? Yeah, get out of here. Followed by a fade to black and a forced restart of your game. I hope you're proud of yourself. Number 11, Batman Arkham Asylum. Looks like the government put a no-fly zone over Gotham because Batman is no more. The devs of the Arkham series put a bit of tiny code in the game's codebase that would activate if it detected it was a pirated copy. What then happened was anyone playing the pirated copy would have Batman's glide ability completely disabled. Now, with the game being smaller in scope for its levels, it wasn't mandatory to use other than in one area, but it made things pretty slow and frustrating to play, especially in that one boss fight versus Scarecrow, where it made it nearly impossible to beat. Number 10, Tomb Raider 2. Lara Croft, one of the more beloved female action heroes, even she isn't invulnerable. And if you try to make her by unlocking all items and levels in game with an appropriate cheat, you'll be in for a bad surprise. Players falling into the trap would tap in a button combination to activate the cheat, but imagine their shock when instead of getting a bunch of sweet gear and weapons, Lara actually just explodes into a bunch of blood gibs, each exploding individually. Yikes. Number 9, Donkey Kong. It's going to be a bit of a theme here with the whole Game Shark thing, but devs of Donkey Kong seriously don't like players using modified game cartridges like the Game Shark ones. So much so that if they detected you using the cheat codes on them, they'd make sure that your character violently shakes when playing, and even if you don't use any cheats, you'd be still stuck as enemies obliterate you whilst you stand still and can't move. And it didn't stop there. If you decided to try saving your game cartridge would be permanently damaged. Ouch. Number 8, Metal Gear Solid. This game impressed us in a multitude of manners, but one more so was its ability to detect modified memory cards to tell what type of controller you're using. If you're one of those dirty modded controller players like from the Call of Duty days, then you would have got checked for it in Metal Gear. If you're using some kind of third-party type modded controller, the game would suss you out. During a torture cutscene, one of the characters, Revolver Ocelot, warns Solid Snake, speaking directly to the player, that he knows you're using a modified controller with auto fire cheats, and that you're not continuing with the story if you're going to keep using it. That dude seriously has a crystal ball. Number 7, Guild Wars 2. Now, Guild Wars 1 was known for trolling hackers through publicly shaming them, and Guild Wars 2 isn't exactly an angel or any better in that regard. The developers were receiving a ton of complaints about a player known as JT Darkside, infamous for hacking. After a while, they decided to take things into their own hands in a more insidious manner. They took control of his in-game character, stripping him of all of his armor, and forced his character to slowly walk to the edge of a building, wave to spectating players down below, and then plummet to his doom before being permabanned from the game. Talk about a good send-off. Number 6, Banjo Kazooie. Banjo Kazooie has great music, chill gameplay, and fun graphics, but it absolutely roasts anyone trying to use third-party mods. Specifically Game Shark, a brand of modified cheat cartridges that brought the ability to cheat on some of the older games back in the 90s and early 2000s. If you're caught in the act, Gruntilla the Witch will pop on screen and make it known that she's about to delete your game save if you want to cheat. And if you thought she was joking, she would follow through on it. What a savage. Number 5, Star Wars Dark Forces. Dark Forces is kinda dated at this point, but LucasArts wasn't playing. Sure, they let you have your fun, but they definitely poke fun at you for being less of a gamer. If you decide you're better than everyone else and you want to be invisible and run around as an indestructible Jedi without taking any damage, then you have to learn the hard way by entering the code LA, meaning LucasArts, followed by I am lame in capitals. Basically, formally subconsciously apologizing to LucasArts for being a noob. George Lucas is laughing at you right now, and that's his ultimate revenge for you hating on his prequel movies. Hashtag justice for George. Number 4, Game Dev Tycoon. Game Dev Tycoon is a pretty neat simulator where you run your own video game business and grow it from your garage into a AAA game studio. But as with all games, the developers have to deal with piracy, which is why they implemented a secret sneaky element that activates only upon pirated editions of their game, infecting the game studio of the player with piracy problems of their own, causing every game that you make to be pirated and just eventually run you out of business. Ah, the irony. Number 3, SimCity. Now, in relation to other games on this list, SimCity is actually pretty generous towards cheaters, especially since it has its own cheat codes, but it's less than stellar in its treatment for those abusing those same codes more than just a few times. In fact, if you decided to use the money cheat more than 8 times, a mysterious earthquake sent from above will just come out of thin air and absolutely decimate your city down to rubble. Looks like you should build in a more stable zone next time, huh? Number 2, Serious Sam 3. Now, trolling cheaters is one thing, but trolling pirates is also another thing entirely, and devs of the game Serious Sam didn't disappoint. In fact, anyone caught pirating their game would start out to what they figured would be a normal gameplay experience. Well, that was until they were immediately attacked by a humongous pink immortal scorpion that one-hit them to death instantly. Fun times. Although the ironic thing is a lot of people then pirated the game to face the exclusive boss and tried to find a way to kill it, so perhaps it didn't really go the way they intended after all. Number 1, Superman Returns. Remember the Superman Returns movie? No? Me neither. The video game adaptation of it roasts cheat users. Anyone caught attempting to enter any kind of cheat code into the game would be immediately punished. This goes for infinite health points, unlock alls, or anything similar. Anyone caught red-handed would get the Not That Super achievement, giving the winner of the title 0 points, permanently locking you out from getting any achievements in the game ever. Those were 17 video games that troll hackers. Comment down below your favorite game from this list and any other games you know that trolled hackers in a creative way. Like the video and subscribe for the best gaming videos here on YouTube.